Welcome back to News Nexus, the channel where we unpack the world's biggest ideas and industries, one sip at a time. Today, we're diving into a warm, familiar space that you probably visit weekly, maybe even daily, the coffee shop. But we're not just talking about your favorite mocha or cold brew. We're exploring the economics behind that simple cup. Why does it cost what it does? Who really profits from it? And is owning a coffee shop still a good business idea in 2025? Let's find out. Let's start with the global perspective. Coffee is the second most traded commodity in the world, just behind crude oil. Each year, more than 10 million tons of coffee are consumed globally. The industry generates over $120 billion annually. Most of the coffee you drink comes from a handful of countries: Brazil, Vietnam, Colombia, and Ethiopia. These nations dominate the coffee belt, an equatorial region where the climate and soil are ideal for growing coffee beans. However, the price of coffee beans doesn't remain steady. It's influenced by weather events like droughts and frosts, political instability, labor conditions, and international trade policies. Coffee futures, contracts traded on commodity markets, also affect pricing. A spike in futures can ripple through the supply chain, eventually increasing the price of your local latte. Now, let's break down the actual cost of a $6 latte. Out of those $6, the green coffee beans account for only about 30 cents, just 5% of the total. Milk, syrups, and other ingredients add another 50 cents. The cup, lid, and napkin come to around 25 cents. Labor costs, the barista's wage, are roughly $1.20. Rent and utilities typically consume around $1.50. Marketing, insurance, transaction fees, and other overheads take up about 75 cents. That leaves an estimated profit of $1.50 per drink, assuming everything goes smoothly. So, why does it cost $6? Because coffee shops aren't just selling beverages. They're selling an experience: ambiance, convenience, and consistency. You're not just buying caffeine, you're buying a moment of peace, a workspace, a meeting spot, or even a comforting routine. Coffee shops operate under a variety of business models. There are independent cafes that focus on specialty coffee, community engagement, and personalized service. These businesses often operate on tight margins and rely heavily on loyal local customers. Then there are the big chains, like Starbucks, Dunkin', and Tim Hortons, which benefit from economies of scale. They purchase beans in bulk, operate thousands of stores, and use centralized marketing strategies. Their business model emphasizes standardization and brand recognition. Newer formats include drive-through kiosks and hybrid spaces where coffee is a secondary product to something else, such as bookstores or co-working spaces. Each of these models faces a common challenge: profitability. Coffee is one of the few food products with high gross margins. An espresso-based drink can yield margins of up to 70%. But that doesn't mean running a coffee shop is easy. Rising rent, increasing wages, inflation, and tech investment all impact profit. A typical independent coffee shop might have a net profit margin of 8 to 12%. For context, a well-run restaurant might aim for a similar margin. Achieving profitability requires a precise balance of pricing, volume, and customer experience. Let's examine Starbucks as a case study. With over 38,000 stores worldwide, Starbucks isn't just a leader in coffee. It's a leader in brand experience. The company buys beans directly from farms, roasts them in-house, and designs each store to reflect its signature warmth and inclusivity. But Starbucks' real innovation lies in its use of technology. The Starbucks app accounts for over 30% of US sales. Through it, customers can order ahead, earn rewards, and even tip digitally. Starbucks has turned a simple transaction into a lifestyle ecosystem. And they're not just about coffee. Their stores are designed as the third place. Not home, not work, but somewhere in between. This blend of real estate, technology, and customer loyalty is what sets Starbucks apart from smaller competitors. But innovation isn't exclusive to big brands. Technology is transforming small coffee shops too. Independent cafes now use cloud-based point-of-sale systems, online ordering platforms, and AI-driven inventory tools. Some offer subscriptions, unlimited coffee for a monthly fee. Others use smart machines that brew consistent drinks without human intervention. The future cafe might have only one human, or none at all. Despite these advancements, coffee shops face significant challenges in 2025. Inflation has driven up the cost of everything, from milk to disposable cups. Wage laws have increased minimum pay in many cities. Rent is rising again in the post-pandemic landscape. And consumer preferences are shifting. There's more competition than ever from bubble tea shops, smoothie bars, and high-end home espresso machines. To remain competitive, coffee shops must offer more than just great coffee. They must tell a compelling story about their beans, sustainability, and role in the community. They must be Instagram-worthy, environmentally conscious, and efficient. That's a tall order for a business operating on slim margins. What does the future look like? We're seeing a rise in eco-conscious cafes, using compostable cups, sourcing fair trade beans, and minimizing energy use. Some shops are reinventing themselves as co-working hubs, event spaces, or educational centers. Others are embracing automation, with robotic arms and self-service stations cutting labor costs. Hyper-local branding is also on the rise. Customers increasingly want to know who roasted the beans, where they were grown, and how the farmers were treated. This transparency builds trust and loyalty, two things that can't be bought easily. Yet, regardless of how the business model evolves, the essence remains the same. Coffee shops are about more than coffee. They're about connection. They're where people write their first novel, go on first dates, study for exams, or simply take a break from life. That emotional experience is what keeps customers coming back, even as prices rise. So the next time you hand over $6 for a latte, think about what you're really paying for. You're not just paying for a drink. You're supporting the farmer in Ethiopia, the roaster in Chicago, the delivery driver, the landlord, the barista's smile, and the Wi-Fi you probably didn't use. Coffee represents a global supply chain, a cultural ritual, and an economic ecosystem, all in one cup. Thanks for watching News Nexus. If you enjoyed this deep dive into the economics of coffee shops, give us a like, leave a comment, and subscribe for more insights into the world's most fascinating industries. What should we explore next? Let us know in the comments. See you in the next video.